Good evening, South African Community Health members. Good evening. I am your host, Mvulazana, coming back again with the Senzo Meyiwa trial. But today, I will be concentrating on the rights of the detainee in South Africa, in accordance with the Constitution of South Africa. That is Act number 108 of 1996. Directly into page 14. Why I want to go into this document, it's because I want to show you the gaps that the state and the court are doing, even the police are doing, in terms of not dealing properly with our people, especially those that are detained. We all know this chapter 35. We know chapter 35 that speaks about the rights of the people. It says everyone who is arrested for allegedly committing an offense has the right to remain silent. Number B, it says to be informed properly. And it has got a subsection in terms of the properly part of it to say of the right to remain silent and of the consequences of not remaining silent, not to be compelled to make any confessions or admissions that could be used in evidence against the persons. D, it says, to be brought before a court as soon as reasonably possible, but not later than 48 hours after the arrest or the end of the first court day after the expiry of the 48 hours. If the 48 hours expires outside ordinary court hours, or a day which is not an ordinary court day. Why am I bringing this on board? I want to bring you closer to our accused persons. Our accused persons, of which we are talking about Muzika Sibiya. Those are our main characters in this. And number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. When you read that and you look at what has happened, we know how they were detained. They were detained on falsely being accused of having ammunitions and others having, drugs, because they were never told by police the truth about why are they detained, of which the Constitution requires that if you are being detained, you need to be told the truth. Basically, it goes to abomhula, nabomabhena, nabomangena, bonke labo amaphoyisa amakhulu, bonke labo amaphoyisa. They never told Bokininda, they never told them the truth. They started by saying they are being detained for ammunitions and then for drugs. That is umuzga ukhulelwa. Even if they knew that they were just detaining them for the Senzo Meyiwa case. And these people were not treated well. They were not even told their rights, their right to remain silent. They were never. Because if you are being beaten, it means people want you to speak. They want you to come out with the truth. That is why at the end of the day, they were forced to make statements, and of which those statements if you read this chapter 35, it simply says their rights were not considered. They did not know. Let's just remember how Ntanzi was led into being arrested. He first got a call to say, no, we got you a job. And he said, no, I'm working. Why should I be? Then the next thing, the police were right in his door in Freedom Park, knocking and calling him the Buthelezi boy, and of which he's not from the Buthelezi clan. He said, I'm not Buthelezi. And they just bundled him up, took him to Pukeng police station, and basically they were checking. Remember, the aim was also to check on the gold tooth. That is why he was even taken to the... I'm just summarizing because I know that we all know what has happened. But if we look at this section 35, it explicitly explains that you have the right, they have the right to remain silent. But they were never read to him that he needs to remain silent. To be informed properly. Properly meaning we must tell you exactly why are we taking you for. Not coming up with issues that we found ammunitions in your room, we found this and this in your room. Because that is false arrest, basically. Now, were their constitutional rights being protected? No, they were not. Remember when Tanzi was also being taken to his place of work where he worked before he came to Rustenburg, before he worked in Impala Mine. They wanted to know where was he on that day. Who can remember the issues of 2014? Even if I can come to you now and ask you, when were you on the Sunday? You only remember because you will know when did you get the news that Senzo was unalived. But basically with them, they were not treated well. And even their statements, the statements that they say they have done, even Gwabini is not agreeing to that. I did not want to speak about Gwabini today. I want to speak about these two, Musgakure Lasibia and also Untanzi, Ubongani Ntanzi. Even when they were taken to where they were supposed to show them where they were just taken and said, look there, and then point that direction. And they take a photo as if he knows. That is the way Ntanzi and Sibia has explained during the trial within a trial. Were their rights properly observed? No. Are their rights even today? Now, I'm including, we are talking about the police. The police did not do the right thing because they wanted to solve the case. Their thinking was just about their progress in life, nothing else. And they felt that they need to bring other people to be detained. Now I'm reading from that because, I also want to educate even our children that they need to know these things. The Constitution, as I said previously, we need to know it. Not by heart, but especially if you continue reading, you will know when police are not doing right by you. Remember, they were taken to so many places where they were beaten up so that they should just say it. And remember that Ntanzi also took 2 statements, 2 confessions. And here it says something about confessions. It says you don't need to make a confession under duress. You don't have to. So says the Constitution, even if I'm not quoting it verbatim. You are not supposed to be forced, because everybody has got the right. So is Musgao Kulelwa and also Bongani Ntanzi. They had rights, of which even today the court is not looking at those rights. And those rights are so important. But before we go too far, let me remind you, I am happy that we have over 297 subscribers, but we still need you to subscribe. Please subscribe. When you get into this video, please subscribe. Apart from subscribing, like, in our previous video, we had over 4,000 viewers. Can we kindly subscribe? It will never cost you a cent. It's just for you just to press that button. Press that button in terms of subscribing, so that I should bring you a lot of education, a lot of information that we also need to know ourselves, information that our children need to know, information that the community need to know, because it is all about people's rights here. The Bill of Rights is very, very important. That is also one of the documents of SAPS. It's derived from this Bill of Rights, because before they detain you, they need to read you to say, we are here to coming to arrest you, not even fighting with you, as they fought with them. They fought with them, and they did not even care whether they live tomorrow, or they do what, or they die, or they are unalived also. Just that they should get what they want, not considering what the Constitution is saying and what is a Constitution is expecting from them. I wonder what their pocketbooks were saying, because we know that when they came to court, their pocketbooks were not there, were not seen. That's nothing tangible that we can touch. So I'm raising up these issues to say, this is where it started, and it started on a wrong footing. It started on a wrong footing for them. Even the ones that were already in custody. I'm talking about Untuli, Nabo Ngube. They were already in custody. They were just taken to say, just because they know that Ntuli has got his own things that he did before, just because he's having 6 life sentences in jail. Now they had to pin it up on him to say, as if he does not have rights. Even if you have 6 life sentences, you still have rights in South Africa. You still have the right to life, right to life. But the way Ntanzi and Musgaukulelwa Sibiya were treated, they were not treated well. Not in accordance to something that should be in the heads of SAPS, of police, abo Mamfundisi, abo Mabena. They should have done it. And remember, if people come to you being in more than one vehicle, even if it's 2, 3 vehicles, even 5, as they were doing, beating them up, locking them out, taking them out of the cells, and hey, June 16, I remember that when we look at the years of Ntanzi was still a youth, still belonged to youth. But in that day, I think that day he will never ever forget, because he was in his prime time, especially working for his family, allegedly. so that he could make the lives of the parents better at home. But those were overlooked. Their rights were stampled on top. Basically, we need to acknowledge that these people, number one, they were never detained properly. So why are we still sitting in the case 636? Why are we still there? Because those two people, because they are building the case of number 3, number 4, and number 5. I'm talking about the Ntulis and others. They're basing it on the two people, two persons version, that is accused number 1 and number 2. They are taking it from that to say if these two can admit. Remember, even we were told that Usibia was even taken to his family. Imagine seeing your child being at the back of the van, being kept in a kumbi, handcuffed. As a father, how will you feel? As a mother, how do you feel? Only to find that they want to promise them money, to say if they can admit to this case, we will give you money. That is how the money is being used in SAPS. Even today, we can hear it in the adult committee and also in the Madlanga Commission. Today, the third, we can attest to it that, hey, people are being bought with money. To them, money can buy everything, only to find that money is the root of all evil. So I'm encouraging our new SAPS children who are coming in, please observe Section 35. Know it by heart, so that you can even quote and say, I am a good police. Because not every police, as I've said even before, not every police is a bad one. Not everyone is bad. But as we read here, and the C part, it says, not to be compelled to make any confession or admission that could be used in evidence against that person. Why all of them? Why both of them made confessions? Others made, even Tanzi made 2 confessions. 2 confessions. Can you really confess 2 times? What was happening when you were confessing? What was happening when Tanzi was confessing? It's because he was being beaten. He was being beaten during COVID time. He was being taken from pillar to post. Even the family did not know where they are because it was COVID. They thought they were in their own areas of work because they were working in shifts, and others were still, in their minds, much as it was COVID. Not everybody was not working. Some of the people were working because production had to be taken care of. I know that because I am in a mining area. I understand that the staff was very short-staffed, so that they should carry out. Please, let us all observe and understand what Section 35 is saying to us. The Bill of Rights, as I've said before. I just wanted to read to you the rights of these people. They had rights. Remember when Tanzi was saying, my clothes were taken off when they were taking photos of me. What an humiliation. What an humiliation. I think he was so humiliated when he was taken to those offices, being taken photos and being measured. You remember the measurement, whether they are the ones that were carrying the gun or the pew pew. that they were carrying the pew-pew, that pew-pewed Senzo Meyiwa. They knew nothing about it. I still say, allegedly, these are not the correct people that are being detained. These are not the people that are being arrested. These are not the right people. Because you can even see with their eyes, even when they talk their own story, when they tell their own story, they both have soft voices, which means their dignity was stripped out of them. You are being stripped out of your dignity. And what else will you say if the police that we need to trust are the ones that are doing that? And above all, their own cousin, Uzungu, their own brother, their own father, Uzungu, Constable Zungu, was the one behind all this, just for the sake of him wishing to get promoted. And also Gininda. And it's true. Gininda, when he started with this case, he was a colonel. Now he's a brigadier. Now he wanted to become what? A general. A general. After solving this case, he wanted to be a general. This is not right. And still, it is still happening even in the court. In the court, in Rata's court, it is still happening. They are still stripping them their rights. Have you seen how the judge is speaking even to the defense? Today, when Mnisi wanted to explain that now, here it's my witness, he's not here. It was as if Judge Rata was talking to a small boy who never read books. He's an attorney, for God's sake. It's an attorney, and he knows what he is doing. When are we going to bring respect? We need to bring respect into our courts so that we should start trusting them again. As I conclude this video, I'm going to give it to you. Even tomorrow, I will be doing a video that will be dealing with those that are being called by the defense, the witnesses, what they went through, and what covers them in line with the same document that I'm talking about. Act number 108 of 1996, the Constitution of South Africa. Please, as I conclude, do not forget to click that button of saying you like the video and share the video. And please comment so that I should know how to improve and where to improve. And also, please, I'm begging for you to subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. It will never take anything from you. Just to subscribe, it's for you to press that button so that every time when I upload my videos, you are the first person to get my videos. And thank you very much. Sleep well.